Hey everybody, welcome to an episode of our show. Tonight I have the Sierra Estate Liquidators, Pablo and Laura.
Yeah,
Hi.
hey, how you doing?
As you all know, this is a weekly show. We used to be Sundays, we're now Wednesdays. Um, this I don't know what's going on next week for Wednesday night because of what's going on with my wife, but uh, I will see what I'll let you all know if I'm gonna have a show or not prior to that. But we are gonna get to know Laura and Pablo tonight and what they've been up to since they are fairly new to the reselling community and YouTube.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about each of yourselves and what is told you?
I am. I am. I'm Pablo. Pablo and Laura. Just in case anybody was wondering. No. We we grew up together in Ackworth, Georgia, which is a pretty small town, and we just recently moved to an even smaller town. So we kind of decided, well, I decided to do some reselling about just short of a year ago. February will be a year, and I I brought it to her attention, the whole thing, and at first she thought I was out of my mind. She was like, well, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Just watch some videos with me," and she kind of slowly started drinking the Kool-Aid with me.
Yep. Yeah. I did not believe him at first. I thought he was crazy. Whenever he first started, we sold a few things, and I kind of saw it happening. And then we would go, thrifting and sourcing together. And I kind of got into it a little bit more whenever things that I had actually sourced or found would sell. And then it kind of got me excited. And now we go all the time. And like you said, I drank the Kool-Aid. I'm a believer.
Yeah.
So what made you come up with the name Sierra Estate Liquidators?
Well, that was just so we didn't have to really fall into any certain niche really with the eBay store. We kind of we have plans to do another store down the road here shortly, but we wanted to start off where we didn't well we could test the waters with different categories, different niche categories. So we started exploring just with everything. We started with mugs and um, little knick-knack things, and dove into clothing a little bit at a time, just kind of testing the water, and just doing by giving the store that name of the Sierra State Liquidators, giving it that notion that it is anything that you can find within someone's estate, someone's entire home, from clothing to kitchens to just knickknack items. So it just opened up the floor plan for us to not be stuck into one category.
Okay. So you have plans to have multiple stores if it goes well for you.
Yeah, that's kind of the flow that we're right now thinking about doing, just to kind of separate a little bit because of organization. Anyways, as far as our listings, we just kind of push one niche and see how well we can do with that one niche by itself. And if it plays well, we'll continue to do that. If not, we'll just put the stores back into one. Um, but we're gonna try it out, see how it goes, and if it just becomes too much of a headache, then we'll just put it back to where it was, you know. But that's kind of the mindset right now.
Okay. And when did the reselling bug hit you and how?
Oh gosh, for me, well, I've always been a fan of the TV show American Pickers. Watching those guys just go around the whole U.S. and then of course they went overseas and started picking over there. That whole notion of just going through and people allowing them into their homes, on their properties, and just kind of browsing around the things they could find. I've always really liked that, and I probably get that a lot from my mom because my mom she's big into antiques and whatnot. So that kind of pushed me over the edge. That show did, and then I was like, well, don't really have the capital for the kind of thing they got going on with the whole store and everything. So I was trying to see what I could do on my level. So that's where the whole idea of maybe eBay would be a good place to start.
Okay. What about you, Laura? Did you have the bug, or did you have to wait till you drank the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, definitely until I drank the Kool-Aid. At first, like I said, I thought he was crazy. Until, we started selling a little bit more things. And like I said, started finding things myself. And those would sell. And then, it got me into it a little bit more. And now I actually stay home with our son. So I've kind of, in a way, taken over a lot of the eBay postings, listings, that kind of a thing, because I'm home with him. So this is now my secondary job besides keeping my son alive.
It's probably the most important job.
And so, since you're still starting, have you ever gone to an actual estate sale and said, okay, I'm going to buy you out? Like when they give you a good enough price?
Oh yeah, we like going to estate sales, and we're starting to get a really nice relationship with one of the local companies that run the estates in our area, the county that we live in. There's a pretty prominent company that does it, and every time we go, we just we continue to mix and mingle with the people that run it, and they're really nice people that do run the estate sales. And so we kind of just watch to see where they're going, and they're a family operated estate company, so we tend to go to a lot of theirs, and we have ventured into other ones, but they seem to be, there seem to be quite a few really good in the area, and then we'll venture out of our county, of course, to go to other ones. But we use the same website probably that everybody else uses, estatesales.net. A little plug for that little website. There you go. So if you're, and it's good. It's good at in any state really. It's not just well, we're in Georgia, so I mean it's good in any state. So if you're traveling, you get onto that website and you can see what's going on each day as to who's got an estate sale going on around you. You click the address, pops up your, if you have MapQuest, whatever, and it'll take you straight to it. So if you're ever out traveling around, viewers out there you go. A little tip for you, estatesales.net. I want some money there, estatesales.net. I just endorsed you. You're welcome.
Oh my.
Hey, anything to make a buck.
Well, we got a couple of comments in the chat that I'm going to give a couple of shout outs to. Yard Sale Hunter came in first. And then Golden Finger Picker, I think, might have been under Dusty. I remember Dusty when he said, what is up? Steven Scroggins. Coco Chanel. She asked me to comment. 2 full-time jobs. And we got
Very true.
And we got Dawn and Angie just showed up. So, hello everybody, get the word out. We owe our normal 30 viewers. Hey Joe.
Yeah, everybody needs to come out and watch.
And don't forget, if you have any questions, just type them in like normal, and I will catch them when I can. Now, when you're going out together, do you split up in the store, or do you stay by each other and look together? Or is there does she go to the women and you go to the men's section, or the opposite?
A little bit of both. Whenever we first go in, we're usually together, but we kind of trade off. We have our son with us, who's 10 months old, so he's in the cart, and we're kind of trading off with the cart back and forth. I usually separate myself because it's a little bit easier with him, with my son, because he'll want me to hold him, and he's not that much way with his dad. So, I'll go off and look at certain things. He's a little bit more savvy in the electronics area. Because I'm home with my son, I'm a little bit more savvy in like the toys and things that are maybe popular for kids now. So I usually go to like the toys and, that area. But we always end up coming back together and at some point putting things in the cart, walking away again. So a little bit of both.
Yeah, we do. We start off together, and then, like she says, we'll divide and conquer. We go into our respective areas that we do pretty well in, and she does a lot of sourcing for not only eBay, like Amazon, stuff like that, but she seems to have a really good pulse on what people tend to purchase off of like the yard sales sites on Facebook. That's also another really good platform to use. She's done very well with that platform. I just not right off the top of my head can think of anything really like a good item that I've picked from one of the thrift stores, estate sales, or anything that's done fabulous on Facebook. But she does very well with the kids' clothes and toys like that, the kids' toys. So she knows what moms are looking out there for. I guess I'm not that good in that area. She's got it better than I do. So
we have a question from Great Lakes Treasure Hunter. He wanted to make sure he heard this right. He said, "Did I hear you say you plan on having multiple eBay stores?"
That's something that we've talked about. We aren't for sure if we're going to do that. I know that, a lot of times when people go to eBay, there's typing in a certain item and go, if it comes up in our store, they're looking at that item. They're not necessarily going to our store to shop for clothes or our store to shop for knickknacks. So we've been back and forth talking about, what we want to do, if we're going to separate them or not. I definitely have concern about it being a headache to try to remember which store I need to be in to post which item and that kind of thing. But it's in the talks. We haven't decided that fully yet.
And that's that yin and yang thing again that we were saying earlier. It's like she's the planner. I'm like, let's just open it. We'll just see how it goes. Who cares about planning? So it's still on her drafting table, still on her blueprints going on right now. But I'm like, why have we started this already? So that's why we work so well together, because she can reel me back in, and then when I start looking at certain things, I'm like, okay, so maybe we got to plan this out a little better.
Hey, Mr. Sadie, and yes, Chad's now commenting, so we know Dusty's there. I don't know if he's there. Well, I don't know if you know that Dusty went to visit Chad for his son's wedding this weekend, so.
Oh, right on.
Oh, cool.
Okay, another question I have is, you did say you're going to get into certain niches. Do you do niches now, or are you whatever makes us money at this time?
Yeah, it's definitely whatever we can turn and make a quick buck on. Everything. Well, we've gotten to the point where we do have our bread and butters. So we do have our bread and butters. And we talked about that on one of our videos before. And we have things that we can just look, see, and we know without looking up that's going to make a decent profit on. But there are still some areas where we have to look stuff up, but we don't really restrict right now. We're kind of open just to really anything that we feel is going to have a good margin. So yeah, we're open to anything.
And I have a funny feeling that Laura was just laughing at Chad's little comment about, we guys know that the wife keeps us in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely.
I wrote it down and started laughing, so I had a feeling that's what the comment was.
Yeah, definitely. They keep us in the right direction for sure. Yeah.
Okay, before you actually started, besides the American Pickers, was there any YouTubers that you used to watch that kind of piqued your interest before you actually went out?
Oh yeah. God, I can go through a whole list of people that I used to watch. Just throwing it out there, Golden Finger Picker being one of them. Yeah, I used to I used to watch him and Bonafide Hustler. I know he's been on your show before. Um, Picking Profits, Raking Profit, um, Craigslist Hunter. Yeah. Everybody kind of had their own areas that I really kind of like zoned in on, um, and it just fueled that fire in me to want to just go out there and do it more and more. So I wanted to make sure that when I went out there, though, that I had really good information, and I felt like just being a sponge to what these YouTubers or these resellers, masters of the craft already, were saying and doing. You know, I was they got me pumped, they got me excited. So there's quite the list of folks that I was listening to, and yeah, and that's kind of why we wanted to do the YouTube videos too, to give back to a community of people thinking about starting it up, because it helped us, and it still helps me. I still watch. You know, I'm subscribed to a lot of channels to where when a video comes on, I'm watching it. You know, I still do have a current day job. You know, which we're working to try to wean away from, of course. But when I have a moment to myself and I see there's a new video, I'm watching it. I'm watching it, and I'm studying.
What about you, or do you watch the videos when you're not listening, or?
I usually, most of the time, I watch the videos that he has watched or he's found while he's at work. Whenever he gets home and our son's asleep, then he'll be like, "Look at this video that I saw today," or "I started to watch this, but I stopped because I wanted to watch it with you." And so, you know, we'll watch videos, but same people really that he's been watching is who I watch too. I like the Bonafide Hustler because he's funny.
I haven't tried a Doppio yet, but he's got me interested in trying a Doppio. I'm a coffee kind of guy. I'll drink some espressos and stuff, but this whole Doppio thing, the whole notion of it, it's got me curious.
Well, I know of one person that tried it, and they said never again. And it wasn't me. Okay. And what mistakes do you wish you could do over in the last year?
Oh gosh, just one?
I say wish mistakes. So it could be more than one. You can say
Oh,
all for all the weekend.
within the last year, well, when we first started, the first thing that I did, and I spoke about this in one of the videos that we did, was about shipping. And one of the first things that I sold, we actually lost money on because of the shipping. The problem was that I had listed an item by itself, and it wasn't moving, and we went sourcing one day, and I found something that went with it. It was a Disney item, and I found another Disney item. It was a mug that I was like, I'll just put those two together. It'll help it move. You know, I bought this for a couple, you know, for less than $1. I'll just throw it in. It'll help move, and it did. It helped it move. It did great. Problem was, I didn't adjust the weight for the shipping. So when it sold, I think, and it wasn't too bad. I think we lost. We ended up losing $2 overall. But it was a learning curve. It was the first thing that we sold, and I wrote it off as being because that person was actually the first person to ever leave us feedback, positive feedback. And so I was like, you know what? Just writing that off. We basically paid for our first piece of feedback. That's exactly what we did. We just paid for our first feedback, and you know what? It's been moving ever since, and we learned from it. It was a learning curve. You know, it's all right.
They're talking to me, Andy. She just hit her 500 subscriber herself. She's giving a giveaway.
Very nice.
You know, any questions out here? I am not seeing any. So if you catch any, let me know, and you can answer them. I know you're glancing down on your phone every once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay. any tips that you can share that you've learned on your own without that may not have been covered already in videos?
Hmm. Something we learned on our own that wasn't covered in the videos. Um, I would have to say, learn on our own. Well, it's it was some of the bread and butters that we have. Never really found any videos on some of the stuff that we tend to get that is just so under the radar with places like the Goodwill or other thrift stores that we can easily just. I mean, it almost feels bad. It almost feels like we're just sliding in underneath the radar, grabbing it and going. But the fact of the matter, these things are so overlooked, and we turn a really nice profit margin on it. I mean, um, it's not like pay the mortgage type, profit margin, but it's still pennies on the dollars. We're picking it up and we're making um, just dollar bills out of it, and it's a beautiful thing. So some of the items that we've picked up were not covered under some of the videos that we've seen, and I would say some of the bread and butters that we currently still do today. That would have to be it.
Okay, Chad Goldfinger asks, where do you see yourselves in 5 years?
At uh, at 5 years, I'd love to see a shop open. Craigslist Hunter is a big inspiration with how he has his buy sell trade. The trading post is such an awesome idea. Not that we don't we like sourcing. We like going out and finding things and just digging through stuff. We used to do that antique malls and other places too before we ever started selling. So, decorating the house and stuff like that. But just the concept of having the shop where people come to you and it's not a pawn shop. You're not loaning any money out, but the buy sell trade idea of having a shop like that is just it's a beautiful concept. It's a beautiful idea, and he's doing he's doing so well, as I'm sure you already know, and he's got his second store open and his second shop's already up and operating. So it's uh it's somewhere where we would definitely like to be in 5 years. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Have the merchandise come to us.
Well, you can still do that now with just using your house as the base. You can do ads in your Facebook groups or something like that, things that you can sell quick.
Definitely, we've started kind of that idea of we've put Craigslist ads out there telling folks that if they're looking to get rid of items that maybe they just don't have enough items to do a garage sale or yard sale, but they still want to empty out a few cabinets or a closet that just seems too cluttered or an attic that has too much stuff. We've got ads out there and trying to do that very same thing, just basically fishing for merchandise as opposed to going out and looking for it ourselves. So we've definitely started the concept just on a very budgeted level.
Well, a lot of my viewers that aren't normal regulars know what doing a budget thing is. That's kind of where I'm at too. So we have been Angie Treasure Ventures wants to know what is the one item you love finding, and I'm sure there's one for each of you, so you can both give that answer.
Finding the one item I love finding. Do you know off the top of your head which item you like finding the most?
I don't know.
I would have to say, gosh, it's weird because I like finding those really, and excuse me if this is not exactly answering her question. I'm sorry if I'm not answering your question exactly, but I love finding the item that I have trouble giving away the most, like something I'm mentally battling over. So I have that a lot of times where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to let go of this. But I have, if I didn't, I'd have a bunch of mugs because I always find mugs that I just want to keep. It's weird. It's almost like an obsession. Like I tell her all the time when we go places, I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna go to the mugs,
And I always find them in the mugs.
and I'm in the mugs. So I've never really been a collector really of anything in general, but I could see myself in such a weird way collecting mugs because there's so many different varieties of things. I don't know. It's weird. I like mugs. I like coffee, so I guess I like mugs.
Yeah, I did watch one of your recent videos, one where you were like humming and hawing over your office mug.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah, The Office Space. That was a great movie. I mean, the flares to Jennifer Aniston to just how funny those guys were, all of them. I mean, how could you not love that? I hope to find a red stapler just like that, so I can just have it in my office. I haven't found it yet. That's the one item I want to find. Let's have my own red stapler.
And what about you, Laura?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I do get really excited. They're like a unicorn now, but finding a Polaroid camera is super exciting whenever we find those. But we don't find them very often anymore. There was a while there where we were
I mean, they were everywhere, and
hitting them up.
I think the problem is people started finding out about them, and it was like, there it goes, that's it. And I think the Goodwill is skimming a little milk, a little bit of that cream off the top. Bad Goodwill. Bad. You're supposed to leave that for us to find. I think they've, because we used to find them all the time at Goodwill, and now the ones around here, if you're lucky, you find one. But we have come across some at some antique malls,
stores, yeah.
And even some estate sales. We've found some as well. We took a pretty sizable risk, I think, with one in particular that was brand new in the box. We found it at an estate sale, never been open. We paid about $30 for it, but we ended up selling it for like $70. So, and it went super quick.
Yeah.
Super quick. I love antique malls. That's a fun place to source because you would think that everything's just super retail pricing. You'd be very surprised. I found a Mattel, the Classic Football 2 handheld in the wrapper. I mean, just completely factory sealed for $4. We sold it for $40 in less than 3 hours.
Yeah, we got it and took pictures
In the
car.
Oh yeah.
And it sold
Gone.
in less than 3 hours.
So
that was a lot of those.
That was a fun fast flip. Yeah.
I have two questions actually from Mr. Sadie123, who's one of our other loyal watchers. He said, "What is the average size of your inventory?" And then he asks, top dollar or turn and burn?
No, you know what? I don't like the concept of turn and burn. I will long tail something if need be to get the max out of it. I really don't mind sitting on something, especially when we go sourcing and we're finding some stuff for $1 or and that $1, if it's a potential $30, $40, I will sit on that dollar. That dollar will not make or break me, and I'm going to get the max for it. And if it takes a month and a half, 2 months, whatever, to sell that item, I'm going to get that $40 because I'm not in this to turn and burn. I really don't like the concept of turn and burn. Some people do. I'm not as scared about sitting on a couple bucks. If it's not a super heavy investment, I will seriously just chill out on that thing. But and as far as right now, the average is around 270, which is like obviously on the low side right now for us because we're trying to get to 3 so bad. But I guess a good problem is that as we keep climbing, things start getting sold. So we're just kind of battling this ongoing reverse escalator kind of concept, I guess, as we keep trying to climb up the escalator. We're just going backwards. But that's a good problem, really. I mean, we're trying to hit 300 by the end of this month, and we we keep getting tripped up by those darn buyers. They just keep buying. I guess that's it's a good problem to have, though.
Uh-oh. It kind of hurts the feelings in that comment.
Chad's mad at you
Why?
because you said you didn't like turn and burn.
No, Chad, no.
He's opponent for turning and burning. He'll
No,
take
Chad.
the 40 out, or he'll take if he can get somebody else to buy it from him for 20, and they can make 20 bucks on it. That's to him. He'll take it.
I can't. I guess there's just some switch in me that I cannot do it. I will sit on that until I get the max I can for it. And it hasn't failed us yet. We've done very well with the concept. We'll do sales. We'll do sales just like anybody else will. And
we have done some pretty drastic sales on some things.
we've done some drastic sales on some stuff, and but just to have a time clock on stuff and just be like, whatever, let it go after so long. I just can't. Not fully. It pains me to even think about that, Chad. I'm sorry, but I can't do it. I just can't.
He respects the long tail. So, but I watched, like I said, I watched one of your recent videos, and in it you said you kind of do both anyway. You do the quick flip, but you wait while you're waiting for the home run with your bread and butter items is your quick flips.
Definitely, yes,
Yeah.
yes. We have items, that we know we can make a larger profit on, so we will definitely wait those out. But the smaller things that, we get a lot of that we can find often, we do have those at a lower price. So those, do go a little quicker.
Yeah. Laughing at some of this stuff here. It's just
Yeah,
the deja.
I had that question myself, so I knew they were gonna when it came up that it was gonna kind of, especially when last week when we get the show about it too.
So this has gone on before, yeah, and
Yeah.
we're bringing it back up again. But next question. We'll leave it alone. We'll leave it at that. There's parts of me that just can't do it. I don't know.
Denise Crowgus wants to know what's your goal profit on your items. I'm thinking like percentage wise.
Oh, percentage wise, I would say if we can. Most times, with the smaller items, smaller ticket items, your $30, $40 type things, I like to say that we have, everything I want 100% return, but 300% return on investment, that's always a beautiful thing. That might sound crazy with some stuff, but that's just those smaller ticket items, because we've done, like I've said, done a lot of research. It seems like the average buyer on eBay is about a $35 buyer. That's kind of a comfort zone for what seems to be the majority of eBay buyers. So a lot of the items that we have, we usually do get for like $3 or $4. So if we can turn that $3 or $4 into that $30, $40 range, that's hitting kind of that market area for the everyday eBay person. Now we also have, of course, some bigger items too that couple hundred dollars worth as far as the pricing on them. But for the majority of the time, we try to keep the $30, $40 range with some things, and of course we have those big home run type of items that we've picked before. $10 and we've turned around and sold them for $80, So the initial goal with things is about a 300% in return on investment. That's the happy dance in me.
Now, who do you? Okay, so I know you have a full-time job that you want to get away from. So does she do most of the work, or is there like does she do the listing, you do the packing and shipping type of thing? What's the ratio of work that's passed out?
So I usually am the one that does the listings. A lot of times we use our phones, the app on our phones. So a lot of times I will take the pictures and start the listings and save them as drafts. And then from work, he will, whenever he can, get on his phone and he will, maybe fill in some details, put a price, and go ahead and list it. I'll package up if I can during the day. If not, we'll package at night. And a lot of times, if it's just a few items, he'll just drop them off at the post office on his lunch break at work, or we'll have the post office pick them up whenever they drop off the mail. So it's kind of a little bit of both, but we both, of course, go sourcing together, and then, like I said, I at least start the listings.
Yeah, I may have been the one to start the whole concept for us to start eBay and all that, but once our son was born, and then we moved into our current house where we are, it didn't make sense for her to drive 30 minutes into town and then hook another 30 minutes west to go to her job. Overall hour and a half, depending on traffic, type of driving. So we decided for her to stay home. And we've been really blessed with this working out this way, where she could stay home, and puts a little more pressure on me. But you know what? eBay's doing so well that it is just about supplemented her income from what she was making prior, and actually, I think at this point, maybe even a little more than what she was making at her previous employment. So it's worked out really well. That it's going well. It's going well, but yeah, I can't take as much credit for the work. Like I'm just now, like, if we have just a few items going out where I can just handle it myself, I'll take those packages, and I'm pretty much like the drop-off guy now. He's
my delivery guy.
I go out and help source. I do that, but as far as that, I'm basically just a delivery guy now, unless we have like a bunch of items. I'm like, you know what? You better go ahead and schedule that with the post office to come pick it up, because that's way too much for me. I'm not gonna do that. So in retrospect, I did do a good bit of work, but now I can't take the credit. She does a whole lot of the work now, and it's kind of, the tables have turned. She thought I was crazy, and now she's pretty much running it. She's like the CEO, and I'm just the delivery boy.
Well, Chad said he had to go. He's been up since 4 o'clock this morning.
Yikes.
He said, "Great show. Good night."
Good night.
Well, that kind of answers my other question. Do you have a schedule? Like, on one of your videos, you say don't always go to the same store, because you got a lot of different Goodwills that you can go to in your area. So do you get one week, and then next week skip the one that you went to the week before, and break it down that way, or?
Yeah, pretty much. We try to keep it where our face is only seen so many times. We're very much, and this is another topic I know that we've actually brought up before, was staying under the radar, or being so blatantly obvious with like scanning things out in the open. I don't know, maybe it's just kind of like, I like having fun and trying to stay under the radar. I know they see us. I know they probably have caught us so many times it's not even like funny, but I just I stay under the radar. I try to stay cool and collected, just boop, what happened? So we just try to keep it mixed around so our faces aren't so prominently seen at the same one each time, every time. And I like the idea of mixing around, because like with the Goodwill, and they have the 18-wheelers outside of some of the stores, so they're spreading the wealth to other places. So hitting the same one just doesn't make sense to me. I like mixing it up, and we have quite a few we can go to, and sometimes we'll make an absolute day out of just hitting up Goodwills alone, where we hit five or so at one time, and try to spend anywhere between an hour and a half in each one. So we'll take our time, and but we try to mix it up a little bit. The one that's the closest to our house, They definitely know our face. There's, we're just trying to start making friends with them now, and the people that say they don't really stay under the radar, like we definitely get that. We understand that there are some really nice people at the Goodwills, and we've heard horror stories. I mean, I'm not sure if have you heard the horror stories where people have been like kicked out and stuff out of the Goodwills?
I haven't been going to the Goodwill lately myself because of our own personal situations, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I go into my thrift stores around here, they don't necessarily know me. In fact, one person lives near one of our favorites, and I'm like waiting for them to come up to me and say something, but I haven't been there in so long. They don't even forget what I look like.
Yeah, we've just seen so many stories of people like getting ran out of just have them kicked out of the stores and stuff. So we just try to be, respectful. I guess I don't know if they really like the resellers or not. I'm not about to push that envelope with them and be like, so this is what we're doing. What do you think about it? I'm not even going to ask them. I'm not even going to tell them. But the one that we go to the most over here by our house, the closest one to our house, there's definitely a few people in there that know what we're doing, but they're really nice, and so I think there's good and there's bad, but we try to keep it mixed up, try to shake it up a little bit, and don't always go to the same place.
And I'm sure you keep the app nice and quiet when you're in the store. You turn that vibrator off altogether so you don't make it king, so you don't disturb everybody.
Yeah, I do. Someone forgets to all the time.
I do forget.
And the times
and
that she
it'll always
forgets,
go off whenever I forget, of course.
she does it and it doesn't go off. She forgets to do it, and I swear it's so loud. It just like amplifies because you normally don't do it, and then the times that it does, it seems like it's the loudest it's ever been. Like it's just like the dinner bells ringing. It's like cha-ching. I'm like, who was that? Who was in this store as a reseller? Naughty.
Steven Scroggs wants to know if you just do eBay.
No, we're FBA now as well with Amazon. We our first package has reached them and they've got it in stock, and we're working on sending 2 more packages out tomorrow. So we'll be working on that tonight and putting the next 2 packages together. And we've got a good bit of inventory right now that we've been collecting and putting together for FBA. So we are on eBay. We're doing FBA now. Craigslist. We put stuff on Craigslist, and as I was saying before, she's really good with the Facebook yard sale stuff. So that whole thing, she's done that. But yeah, we mix it up. We try to.
Have you looked into Etsy?
We're thinking of that. Trying to decide if I love to be crafty, so trying to decide if I want to go the crafty route or maybe then we don't really know, but we're thinking about it. That's definitely an idea.
It's definitely in the possible works for the multiple platforms that we've already got going on. Why not throw another one into the mix? Why not?
You say why not? And the are sitting there saying, "Well, I gotta think about it first."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've heard people talk about Bonanza. Haven't really explored that one.
Yeah.
I honestly would tell you to stay away from there myself because
Okay.
I haven't sold anything there in almost a year.
Done.
Okay.
And
Done.
I would think.
I have over 100 items on there.
Oh wow. Well, I would think since it's not something that we've ever heard of or is really out there, that it probably isn't a good idea. But I mean, people could do really well on there, but not as well known.
Yeah, I was gonna say, depending on what you list on Bonanza, because at one time I did have sales in there, but now I don't list it often. But it's set for almost a year without getting anything, it kind of makes me want to like pull everything off. But I keep it there for some anything that might fall off of eBay that I forget about, and I'm like, okay, I can either relist it with find a picture somehow, and
Right. Absolutely.
yeah, I'm not seeing any more comments. Are you guys seeing any more comments or questions?
I haven't seen any more questions.
Well, how about you have any questions for me? Because I don't know if, like I said to Laura before we yesterday, I didn't know if you guys have any shows you've watched mine or know about me. So
I have seen some of your shows, and I was I was pretty excited to be considered to be on the show. I mean, I was like, you've talked to a lot of people that I've watched, you know, that I've taken the time and um, so I was pretty excited and pretty honored to be on the list of people that you've been on the show. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So,
yeah, I think Laura was a little nervous though. Like, from what you told me from the beginning, she wanted all the questions ahead of time. If she asked me that yesterday, I could have written some lines and said, "Here's a basic of some of them," and then do the rest as a shocker, so you both would be happy.
yeah. She wanted the questions ahead of time so she can like study and have the answers ready to go. I'm like, no. I just want him to just get me like just maybe on my heels. Maybe I wasn't expecting that kind of question or something. I wanted just to be the way I am, just kind of go with it kind of guy. So I wanted, but I like being organic. I don't like being cookie cutter. Um, and again, that's where we're a little different. She doesn't mind being so structured, and I'm just like, you know what? Loosen up, just loosen up a little bit. It's gonna be okay.
Andy, okay, Treasure Benches says, such a nice couple.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
I think it helps that we've known each other pretty much our whole lives. So
Yeah, we met back in elementary school. When my parents decided to move into the area where she was born and raised in. Um, I started going to where she was going to school in fourth grade. So that's pretty much when I came into the scene in Ackworth, fourth grade, and we've grown up together. Our little brothers graduated this past year from high school together, and they played t-ball growing up. Our dads were coaches on the teams and stuff, and it was it was pretty close knit little community that we grew up in. So we've known each other our whole lives, and
yeah.
it's it's not really a surprise that I guess we ended up together. We were always really close, and there was a class that we had next to each other.
Oh
Just a quick little story. I could tell she had a crush on me because every time I was coming to class, she'd give me a hug in the hallway, and this was in high school, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, give her a hug.
This cool guy.
I knew she wanted me. So I was on the football team, and I did a lot of sports year round. I played football and did wrestling, weightlifting competitions, and all that stuff. And so when we got together, she was known as the good girl, very reserved, kind of, you know, super conservative. I'm just like this wild kid. It was to the point where there wasn't too many Mondays that didn't start off with some sort of house party story from the weekend past with my name in it. So I was kind of that kid. And when we started to go out together, it was like, does she know who you are? I was like, sure, she's heard plenty of stories, so yeah, she knows who I am. We've known each other, you know, growing up. Sure, she knows what she's getting into. I don't think she had a clue. It's been a fun ride. So
It has.
we dated for a long time before we ever got engaged. We got together spring of sophomore year, 2002, and we were together. How long before we were engaged?
Well, we got married in 2010, so.
So there you go. We've been together ever since. I mean, I've never really been into the whole we need to take a break kind of thing because if you need to take a break from someone, that means you don't need to be with them. If you need to
All
take
right,
a break,
this is a relationship show.
it just turned into a relationship show all of a sudden. If you need to take a break with somebody, go ahead and leave them or leave her. You don't need to be together. Go find some sourcing and put it on eBay and make some money.
He's getting way more from his show than he wanted.
We just go on a tangent sometimes. Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's kind of what a lot of people like. They like to have get to know the people. They don't necessarily have to know all the reselling parts of the person.
We just gave him a little piece there.
So it's everything that you're wanting to do with the YouTube channel and stuff. I know you want to help, but in what ways are you wanting to help that are different so people doesn't think it's regurgitated, as they like to say in some areas, like repeating what somebody else already said years ago or months ago?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's definitely something that I I didn't want to happen. So with that in mind, we have been a little more personal with some things, which is it seems to hit well with most people. But we've had comments in the past that didn't. It struck nerves with people that we were being a little too personal, and but that's just the way we are. So um, the incident with the shipping and how we lost money on that was something that we wanted to talk to people about, but also give a reasoning why we were talking about it. So we were able to tell them, if this is something that's happened to you, or you're about to get into selling, that to look out for. So being able to give our own experiences on something, we kind of feel like we can talk about subjects that may have come up in the past, but has a different little twist on it because we're given our life experience on it. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to do the videos, because we were just kind of, I mean, for the most part, there's people that have been out there for years doing this and have gone full time with it, where we're still in the beginning stages, where some people are, kind of about to get into, or maybe in the same area they are, and don't know that they can save money on shipping costs by going to the local post office or going onto the website for the post office and getting packaging for free, as far as boxes and things. I mean, a lot of people, I don't think there's still a good bit of people that really don't know that yet, and we just want to reach out and get to those people that really are kind of lost on a few things. And we try to use the Reseller Society as one of those places, because we see some of the comments that, one, we have life experience in from just within a year that we've been doing this. So then we kind of feed off the stuff that we see popping up on there, and we kind of use those as our subjects that we decide to talk on. So we try to be as current with our subjects for our videos by just seeing what's going on.
We have a question from Joe Panico. But before I go to that question, though, Dawn wanted to say that you guys were in high school when she started selling on eBay. And Joe also married his high school sweetheart, too. Dated her for 6 years and they were married for 34, so 40 years together. So congrats, Joe.
Yeah, that's
Very
awesome.
nice.
But his question to you is, what is your preferred shipping method?
Prior to shipping with the post office, a lot of our items can fit in basically just about any size that they offer. We don't tend to do really, really big items a lot of times, just because, well, we do have an inventory room in our basement, and until we have a much more desired area, and maybe even more shelving units and stuff like that, as we grow, our inventory room is growing as well. And we have started experiencing other places, like we've used FedEx in the past now. Past month, we shipped out some larger items that weren't exactly post office corporate, should I say. You know, they're just a little bit too big. So we are starting to branch out as we as time goes on, as we get deeper into this. And but the preferred method is priority mail with the post office, and a lot of their priority shipping boxes. We use those, and we get a lot of comments that our shipping gets out to them fast. It's always on time, and it's so they like that. And if it's over first class, you know, we don't tend to pay for anything over first class. So whenever they get it, they appreciate still the time that it got to them. So they don't really mind paying just a little bit more for that shipping. So as long as we still keep getting those positive feedbacks from folks saying that you know, it's getting to them on time and they're not too worried about the cost, then we'll keep doing it that way until then. You know, we'll just keep on chugging along.
Well, you spoke about the Reseller Society, and here comes one of its founders / admins, Ronnie Hart.
Hello.
He said, well, I'm late to the party.
Welcome.
And we had a question from Darlene. She wanted to know, how do you store inventory your items? Dedicated room?
Yes, we have a room in our basement that we have shelving for, and because I am the more organized one, I've organized it into kind of sections. You know, we have like the kitchen type items, the collectible items. I went down there and organized all of that. Any plushes that we have, I have all of those in a bin together. So everything's organized like that. I don't know if he went down there if he could find anything,
No,
but
I can't.
that isn't important because I'm the one that's packing it up.
She's the one that does pack it, but I can actually go down there and I can find things a lot easier, I will say.
It was kind of a mess before.
At
but
first, it was a little hectic, and we just need, and we're working on that each and every time about being that much more organized down there. So it's a work in progress, but it's right off of, see, the sad part is I have a man cave, okay, in our basement. It's a great room. It just, I can't do anything with it because we have stuff that needs to be processed in that area, and as we bring it up, it goes into the inventory room, which is right off my man cave, and we gotta process faster because I gotta have my man cave, you know, and it's right now it's part of the processing room, which is fine, I guess. You know, I don't really.
Might incorporate your man cave into her planning process and say, okay, this is where everything that we get comes in. And this is when we list it, it goes in this room.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it goes.
Okay, E.G. Knox, who I think is new to the show. It's the first time I've seen his name. He said, I apologize if you mentioned this earlier, but do you have any favorite apps that you rely on?
So really, whenever we're out, the apps that we use are either eBay or Amazon. We have those on our phone. So we, depending upon what the product is that we find, the item that we find, will depend on where we look it up. You know, if it's a sealed VHS or DVD or something like that, we'll look on Amazon because we're doing FBA. So we want to send that to them versus Office Space mug we would not look on Amazon for. We would look that up on eBay. So really just those two apps.
It's pretty basic as to the apps that we use.
Just what we're selling on.
We've seen that other people use some other stuff. And there's been some other things that have been suggested to us, and we've looked them up to see, and it just doesn't really, to us, it doesn't fit. And that's the thing about it. What works for us may not work for others. What works for others may not work for us. Absolutely. But we're definitely open to trying just about anything. But what works for us at the current state is the eBay and the Amazon Seller app. Those two work well for us. Yep. And I see that Hearts Motor Company's on there. I've watched his videos.
Yep, that's who I said when you said you mentioned Reseller Society. That's when I said Ronnie Hart's in the house.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen some of Hart's videos. So Hi. I try not to be too much of a fanboy whenever they comment and stuff on our videos, but I just can't help myself because it was like 6 months where I was studying everybody's videos. So when I saw that Chad had commented, on one of our posts on the Research Society, I got a little fanboy in me. Okay, it got out of hand. I think who was it? Picking Profits did it recently on one of our videos. I turned into a fanboy again. I was like, hey, I watched your stuff before. I was so lame, but I didn't care because you know what? At the end of the day, the reason I got into it is because I became a fan of these guys. I became a fan of these people that were doing it. So to see them say stuff to us, I was like, I told my wife, I was like, we made it. We have made it. We're part of this society. So I was excited.
To say the least.
I couldn't help myself. It was
Probably
like I
woke
saw.
her up, right?
What?
I said he probably woke you up one night when he got a comment. Like, honey, we got a comment from so and so.
Yeah, he loves to do that. And I'm like, I don't care. Talk about this in the morning.
Yeah, it happens that way sometimes. So like, do you know who just commented? She's like, do you know what time it is? I'm like, it doesn't matter.
If FBA took off for you, would you leave eBay or would you stick with trying to do both?
I think we would still do both.
Yeah.
We like to just kind of have our hands in multiple pots, if that makes sense. To, just kind of spread it around because, like I said, I feel like there's some things that would do well on eBay and there's some things that would do well on Amazon.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
There's a place for everything in that respect.
Yeah, I think there's a place for each item, and it's just kind of it's better to have. I think it's better to have more platforms to be able to use and to utilize. So something that may be extremely crazy weight or really big and bulky, but we can still make a buck on, and maybe on the local level, Facebook and Craigslist, why not? Or some brand new CDs still factory sealed. Send those babies to FBA. See you later, and then some more antique type vintage items and clothing and stuff like that. eBay, and there's clothing on Amazon too, but I like the clothing on the eBay better.
Okay, or this question's for you. In the last video I watched, he mentioned that you like to decorate your house from the thrift stores. Has there been a time that you wanted something and you looked it up after you got home and realized you can make more money selling it than keeping it?
I think we have had that instance happen. I don't remember what it was. There was something though that I really, really liked and then looked it up and it's like, okay, fine. But that definitely happens to him more often than it does to me.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, definitely happens more often to him because he finds these. We actually have this random, I don't even know what it is.
Awesome.
Really.
You're talking about the cow, aren't you?
I am. It's like
I was wondering if you could grab it and show it to him.
I'll get it. It's right here.
Okay.
It's displayed in our house now.
It's actually in our china cabinet. It's that awesome. It's right next to some of her great-great-grandmother's china, and I had to.
We got another one.
And we do have another one that's in there as well. This thing.
It's kind of dusty.
It's so awesome. And now this other thing she's going to show you. I've had offers about this. I posted that I was so excited and I posted about it. This one, come on. It's a cow cowboy. It's a cow cowboy from 1993. It's too awesome. These things, if we were to sell it, would go for anywhere between $30 to $40. We got it for, it's still written on there. We never did wipe. I put it straight into the cabinet. I didn't even wipe it off. Got it for 99 cents, and that's $30, $40 sitting right there. But it's sitting in the china cabinet because that's my cow.
I'm going to sell it one day.
No, that's my cow.
Keep it.
See, look, keep it. See, it's all about the cow.
And this is something else that he will not get rid of.
That was one of my favorite picks right there. I got that in an antique store. That is from like 30s, 40s. Everybody used to have them back in the day. It is it's weighted silver. It's not silver all in itself. So the exterior of it is silver weighted. So, but it's a tabletop lighter. Just a very cool conversation piece to have around. Those that don't know about it will, they ask what it is, and I get to talk about it. So it's a conversation piece. And someone said moo. I love that.
That's Angie.
Yeah, there's just some items that I refuse to let go. But my cow's been hanging out for a while, and he can easily be turned into $30, $40, but sometimes it's money.
What do you think is one of your worst buys?
Oh, I like to think none of them are bad buys. I don't buy bad things, but probably.
What?
Gosh, what's something that just recently went that I can't remember now, that we were so happy to see it gone?
Oh, we
Talk
bought
about
a leap stir.
That's what it was.
Like one of those leap pad things for kids to learn on. We've picked that up and then picked up, it didn't sell for a little while, so we picked up a game to go with it. It still didn't sell.
Yeah.
And a lady reached out and asked if it worked, and I'm like, yes, it works.
Yes, take it.
And so she sent an offer, and we countered, and hesitantly countered because we didn't really like her offer, but we really wanted it gone.
Yeah.
But she accepted our offer, and off it went.
It wasn't one of my favorites to have, and we'll probably never do it again unless it's like seriously brand new and we bought it for like change out of my pocket and we could send it to FBA where we don't at least have to look at it. But the thing stayed around forever, and it was probably one of those that you're going to have to really twist my arm to make me buy another one. Probably never again.
No, your duck mug stayed around for a long time.
That was a mallard.
Says leapsters are flops. They had one too. So.
Well, so sad.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Coke.
Oh yeah.
You would think Coke products would do as well as, there's so many collectors of Cokes, this, that, and the other. I just think the market is so flooded that Cokes are just so super long tail, it's not even worth picking up. So Coke products, Coke glasses and stuff like that, old Coke, whatever, I'm out. I'm done. Coke, you can have it. You can. I will leave it at the store.
Pepsi actually sells better than Coke.
It's true. We did have an antique. It was a vintage Pepsi. It looked like a vending machine, but it was
like a wall phone.
Yeah, wall phone.
House phone.
Still in the package and everything. That thing actually sold pretty fast and for good money. So I guess it's people like Pepsi over the Coke when it comes to buying that stuff on eBay. But no, Coke, I stay away from. No, thank you.
Yeah, we probably won't do any more like soda type products.
I'm out. I'm out.
They said Pepsis are flops too.
We got lucky on one Pepsi, but we won't do it.
But I think it was very just rare. It was, the whole wall phone thing.
Yeah, and it was very Art Deco-ish kind of look and would be great in any kind of like man cave setting. Not my man cave because it is a processing room.
Or they could have just been that you got looking at one buyer was looking at that one time and they said, okay, I'm buying it right now.
Yep, exactly.
Exactly.
And I think that definitely happens.
And when you were talking about the Leapster, it brought back a memory. 2 weeks ago, I finally sold Leapster Mask Jedi Star Wars on Amazon.
Yeah.
I had it up for so long, it's like I forgot when I had it up for, and we only sold it for $8. I'm like, could have probably raised it and gotten a little bit more now that Star Wars came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I only had like you guys did. I only had like $1 to $2 into it, and I'm like, I want it gone by now.
Right. I'm tired of looking at it. Get it out of here.
Dr. Pepper.
Let's see. Treasure Adventure says it was probably because it was a phone that you sold, the Pepsi one.
Right.
Yeah, I when we first started, we sold a Coke phone too, and it was one of the older ones. But I don't even remember what we sold it for because it was back in '05 that we sold it. So, and one of our mistakes that we made then, we also had gotten a Coca-Cola pillow that you put out on the couch.
Yeah.
And when we shipped it, we thought, okay, it's too late. It's not going to cost a lot to ship, so we put like $5 on it, and it costing us more to ship it than we did making the sale.
Oh.
We ended up shipping it for like $12, and we're like, what? How could this light thing cost $12?
It just popped in my head, probably because I've been trying to suppress the memory of it. But there was a Motorola bag phone,
Oh, yes.
and that thing sat forever. I was like, oh yeah, there's collectors of these. I'm sure of it. Well, there was, but he was not on eBay for quite some time. And then we finally decided to get on there. He was like, oh, there's one. Click. So it finally did go. We made decent money on it, but it took forever. Bag phones, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say I'm out on bag phones now. It was fun to try, but not fun to have to look at for as long as it was. So I'm out.
Well, I see we got Swampy Picker came in. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to get them out. We just passed the hour mark. If there's not going to be any more questions, we'll end this short. And maybe if they're willing, want to do a little bit of a hangout with some of the viewers. That's where, I don't know if you paid attention, where after the show, some of the viewers can come in and they shoot the bull with you guys and get to know you that way instead of just doing it through the chat.
Okay, cool.
You put faces to the people that are talking with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
So I know of at least one or two people that would probably jump in. So
okay, cool.
Cool.
Do you guys have any more questions for me?
Did we really throw off your show? We're kind of just like off the walls. Did we mess anything up? Did we break anything? I'm sorry. Clean it up.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. That's why I want people to get to know you. As I said, you guys started doing the videos when? October or November?
It was Thanksgiving, actually, when we did our first one.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so November.
I know you only didn't have that many viewers. You put in the Resource Society to try getting some people, and
Yeah.
that's when I actually subbed that the very first night that you did the post. I did it sub. So
Very nice.
Awesome.
We appreciate it.
So you probably got excited. You're like, wait a minute, walking picker? But so I want to people get to know you guys and get you guys some more subscribers. The link is below in the description, people. So if you're watching this after, sub to them.
Absolutely.
Yep. Oh, you're great.
One wolf just walked in the door. Treasure Adventure says, I really love this show. You guys are great.
Oh, thank you. You're great.
I want you to hit that like button for us and sub.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I'm not seeing any more questions, and with that being said, as Ronnie likes to say, I'm going to end this, and I'll share the link in the chat, and we'll see how many people come in for a little bit and hang out. Thanks for watching. I will see you Sunday for the Admin Point of View show. Good night.
Bye.